Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're gonna be reacting to.
The most racist versus the most welcoming country in Europe. My honest travel experience.
Hey y'all, hey, welcome back to Ball Girl Will Travel. And in today's video, I'm going to answer a question I get asked quite a bit. What country in Europe have I found to be the most racist? And which one did I find to be the
What
most
do you
welcoming?
think she's going to say?
Well, for one, I hope it's going to be not one country, but like a couple countries that are racist and the most welcoming.
Oh,
Uh,
what country is racist?
no, like just kind of like a ranking. Oh, this country, that's what I'm hoping. Not just one country's racist, the other's most welcoming. Because I would like to get like a little better gauge on the other countries. What she gonna say? Shit, I have no idea. It could be the Eastern countries, from the Eastern Europe. It could be the countries that do have more black people, so like France, because or maybe the countries that are struggling with immigration right now, because it's also
Mm,
like kind of piled, you know, people of color together with immigrants. I have no idea, but let's see.
If you're new here, I'm Anne Marie, the creator of Ball Girl Will Travel, where I share my journeys as a 50 plus black woman traveling the world in style, encouraging women over 40 and 50 to embrace travel as the ultimate form of self care. I believe that style has no expiration date and that travel is the best self care there is. If that's of interest to you, please hit the like button, subscribe, comment, and share this video with a friend. Since I've traveled all over Europe, Italy, Portugal, the UK, Ireland, Croatia, Serbia, Georgia, Ukraine, Moldova, France, Germany, Spain, Greece, and most recently Poland, I feel like I'm in a good position to
No,
finally give an answer
Lithuania.
to this question that I get asked all the time. So let's
None
get into
of
it.
the
Without
Baltics.
question, the most open.
No Baltics
I'm
and none of
curious of the
the
Baltics.
no Baltics, no Scandinavia, Nordic countries either. I don't think so.
Racist country I've ever experienced
Italy.
has been Italy. Now, let me
Wow.
be very clear. Italy is absolutely beautiful, and I've been there several times, at least 7 or 8 times at this point, since 2017. Except for 2020, I've been there every year since 2017, and I keep going back. It's gorgeous, the food is amazing, and the men are charming and handsome. On almost every trip, I've observed racism, and on some occasions, I've personally experienced it. The places I found most problematic were Rome, Milan, and Venice. In Rome, the racism is not subtle, it's very in your face. I've been to Rome more than once, and at this point, I don't even need to spend time there anymore beyond transiting. It's a perfect place to fly into. You'll find a lot of deals to fly into there, so I will often fly there and then transit elsewhere into Italy. But it is not a place I like to spend a lot of time. I absolutely don't feel the need to spend time beyond transiting. And in Milan, I would say the same thing. In Milan,
I
I
wonder
was
what
racially profiled
happened.
the moment I got off the plane. I literally saw every black and brown traveler being pulled aside for extra bag checks coming through customs and immigration. And I
So I think it's the immigration issue. I think they
Mm,
just, it is what it is. People from Africa are coming, just profiling them. Same like how here I think we're profiling Latinos. So I think they're in Europe. They're profiling people of color too.
think the only reason that it didn't happen to me was that as soon as I started speaking to the officer and he heard my American accent, he waved me through. But everyone else, he was pulling to the side and they were opening people's bags up and checking him. That's profiling, in my opinion. And in Venice, I was flat out ignored inside of a Louis Vuitton store when I was looking for something specific that I wanted to purchase. So, needless to say, I
oh, I
walked
don't
out of the
like
store
that.
and they missed
I
out
don't
on that
like
sale.
if I go inside a store, they don't say, "Oh, hello, no, welcome." But then you go and they say to you, "Oh, welcome, 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 welcome." Hmm.
Racism can be
No.
expensive. Even in Florence, which is my favorite place to visit in Italy, I had one experience where a waiter ignored me, pretended he didn't see me, and didn't serve me. And at first I thought it was a mistake, but the look he gave me when I got up and left told me that he was doing it on purpose. But of course, I left because there's no way that I'm going to spend money in a place where the wait staff is rude. But to be fair, Florence overall has been one of my favorite spots in Italy, and Sicily has been a completely different experience. I've been to Palermo, I've been to Taormina, I've been to Catania, and I've been to
You're
Ragusa.
the
And in every single
Palermo.
place I've been in Sicily, the people were warm, they were friendly, and they were genuinely helpful. Same thing I would say about Bari Puglia area, where I've also visited in Italy. And just let me say, Italy has some of my favorite food in all of Europe. From the pasta to the seafood to the gelato, Italian cuisine is everything. But as much as I love the food, that doesn't erase the fact that racism in that country is real, especially in places like Rome and Milan. and Venice, as I said. It's just very real and very visible. I have personally observed more than one occasion of people who are
But it kind of seems like the split between North and South Italy. So she's saying basically the South Italy is more welcoming and warming, and the North Italy is more racist. Interesting.
obviously African immigrants being treated in very disrespectful ways by Italians. So if you're a black person and you visit Italy, especially for the first time, yes, you should see Rome. I think you should visit for the history and the art, but beyond that, I personally recommend heading south. Sicily in particular feels like a different country altogether because frankly, it's not part of the actual island of Italy. You have to fly from Italy to get to Sicily, and it's just a very different experience there. Now, let's talk about where I've been that I absolutely felt much more welcomed. Without question, the place that I have been in Europe so far that I have found to be the most welcoming has been
Ireland, wow.
Ireland, hands down. And I'm
Random.
talking about
I'm
Ireland,
not
not Northern
surprised.
Ireland.
Ireland has been very vocal about a lot what's going on with like Palestine and Israel,
Oh,
and
true.
also with their history.
Yeah,
Overall, the people they're very, very, very welcoming
that makes
to
sense.
others.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Given that they're like us, they you would think they would feel a threat because there's not many of the Gaelics out there. They you would think they would feel threatened, but they're very welcoming.
Mm-hmm.
country of Ireland. From Dublin to Galway to Cork, I found the people to be genuinely kind, warm, funny, and just flat out welcoming. Even in Dublin, which is a busy capital, folks were friendly and helpful. The landscape is stunning, the energy is
But that's
positive.
also interesting because Ireland is also struggling with immigration. We saw in the videos that there's a housing crisis out there too. So
But they take this issue with the government, not the
yeah, not the
people
people.
who
Yeah,
coming here,
that's a
because it's the government
very
responsibility.
interesting approach. Yeah.
And it's one of the only places in Europe where I've honestly thought I could live here and be happy. Now, here's the funny thing. While Italy
With
has
that
some of
weather,
my favorite food, Ireland probably has some of my least favorite food. I will say I
Yeah.
like the shepherd's pie, and I had it quite a bit, and they make a good burger and some good french fries.
Oh
But I wasn't
no!
crazy about much
Oh
else.
no!
Thankfully, in Dublin, I was able to get great Indian food. There's great Chinese food to be had and Caribbean food. There's a lot of international cuisine.
They
So
have
even if you don't like
Caribbean food.
Irish food per
I mean, yeah, they had Caribbean colonies. I would think so. Why not? Jamaica.
Ireland.
No, UK.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
UK.
said
It's
okay.
travels. It's close.
say, you'll find a lot of good food to eat in Ireland. This just goes to show you can't judge a country only by its food, because while Irish food wasn't my favorite, the people definitely were. The people made Ireland one of the best travel experiences I've ever had, warm and kind and genuinely welcoming. It's exactly why I'm taking a group of black women over the age of 40 there for 10 days next year. We're going to explore Dublin, Galway, and Cork. It's a bucket list trip, and it's the perfect time to book because if you book now, you'll have almost a year to pay it off before we leave in September 2026. So there you have it. That's my answer. The most racist country I've been to in Europe so far? Italy, specifically Rome, Milan, and Venice. The most welcoming? Ireland, no question. That doesn't mean don't go to Italy. Like I said, I've been there many, many times, but just be aware of what you might experience, especially in the north of the country. And if you're black, you may notice that sometimes, once they realize that you're American, they may treat you differently, probably treat you nicer. But that doesn't change the fact that they were racist in many, many parts of the country. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What country in Europe did you find to be the most welcoming, and where did you have the toughest experience?
Maybe we don't experience that in the comments when we do Italian music because we're like American.
Uh, that's what I'm thinking. Is it racist or is it like xenophobic in the sense that they think, oh, you're an immigrant to coming to live there? Like it's profiling for sure, right?
Yeah.
They're profiling, but they're profile. I don't they do they not like you because you're black, or do they not like you because they think, oh, you want to come live here and you not don't belong here?
This is tricky.
Yeah, because if they switch
But
up and they see that you're American, so they be nice to, then it's not really about your skin color. It's about where they think you're from.
but do they do that if a person so but the factor is that
They're definitely profiling based on skin
yeah,
color. Yeah,
because
they
they
definitely
already
profile.
jump and
Yeah,
assume
right.
because you're black, oh, you may be an
Yeah, they
immigrant from this
profiling. Yeah.
place. So that's why I'm curious if you were like someone that looked like you, white like you, will they make this assumption, oh, you're an immigrant, bad immigrant? Because for me, I could be either
Oh,
bad or good. You only assume good.
yeah,
For
that
me,
is
by
definitely
default,
true.
just
Yeah,
because I was born in the U.S., that they give me a pass.
yeah.
That's why I say it's still not acceptable
Hmm.
because I can't help where I was born. You
Right.
know. Can I see your comments? Or it's just
Hmm. I agree with you on Ireland. I was there in February and I had a great time. They even have a small museum dedicated to the Obamas that we stopped on when I was at tour. Oh, cool. You're absolutely correct about Italy. We visited a few times to be sure it wasn't a fluke. One time we
Oof.
were having a meal at hallway through dinner at at
Halfway.
halfway at hallway.
Oh.
You having a meal at hallway? What? The server came out to let us know what our charges were at that point and to be sure we could afford to continue. We stopped eating at that point, left exactly the amount in euro, and strangely had the dash to complain loudly about tipping. So it seems there's a
He complained about tipping? I thought tipping, not tipping.
interesting. So it seems the issue with there's like I guess immigrant they dine and dash as well, like a lot. They like because if you come,
No, this is profiling.
hmm,
Because that happened here in the States too, where they assume like, oh, black people may not pay or for the meal or dine and dash. So they ask you to pay before, not even halfway. They ask you to pay before they even serve you the food and you receive service. Okay. Guys, of course, let us know your thoughts. Direct to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Discord. And as always, share as much kindness as possible.